Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to week 10 of business updates and overall Amazon slash e-commerce news. Now, today is October 30th, and we are well along the way into Q4. I don't know about you guys, but so far, October Q4 sales have been relatively weak, at least in comparison to what they were in previous years. Talking to some of my friends in the space, a lot of them are also seeing the same trend of decreased sales. So please leave a comment below and how your sales have been so far. Would love to kind of figure out if this is like a macro trend or just unique to a few of us based on the niches that we tend to sell in. October so far has been pretty crazy for me. On the week of October 12th, I spent almost that entire week in New York City. Partially, I was there for Sellers United, which took place on October 16th in New Jersey. But the rest of the time was kind of like a mini vacation for me and my wife, getting to hang out in New York, getting to spend time with friends over there, and exploring a city that neither of us are too familiar with. And that brings me to my first topic, talking about Sellers United. This was my first time going there. I heard great things about Sellers United in previous years where the turnout was massive. It was such a big celebration of the e-commerce Amazon space. They had rented out food trucks to come and serve food to everyone for free. And it was just a great time to hang out and network with people in the industry. Now this year, being my first year, I will not sugarcoat it. I don't know if it was worth my time and the resources to go there. There was a very slow and very small turnout to the event. And I think I first noticed that this might be a smaller event than in previous years when they launched their Memorial Day sale, where if you already bought a ticket to Sellers United, you can get a second ticket for like 99% off. And while the promotional was supposed to run for just one day, they ended up running the promotional for the entire month of September. That was probably the first red flag of when I knew that they were struggling to get people in the door and to fill up the seats at the conference. But when I entered the conference, the convention center, there were just very few people there. In each of the halls where there were guest speakers and panels, the seats were maybe only like 1/10 full. I don't know how I feel about the entire event, you know? I've been selling in the e-commerce space for about 7, 8 years now, and I don't really feel like there's, you know, kind of new revolutionary information that I would be learning at these events. And that's certainly not what I took away from the event. I guess the event for someone like me who's been in the space a little bit longer would be to just network with other people in the industry, to maybe meet some vendors face to face and maybe meet some new suppliers, and to kind of just build upon the existing relationships that I have with friends in the space. And that was pretty much my entire takeaway, where I didn't really learn anything from the guest speakers, but I kind of just re-solidified friendships and relationships in the space. And altogether, I don't know if it was worth the ticket cost plus the flight to New York coming from California, plus the accommodation for the week that I was there. So I probably won't be going back in future years. Now, this begs the question, is the lack of people at Sellers United indicative of the declining space in Amazon e-commerce? You know, recently, Kaj, a friend of mine, posted about how the engagement on e-commerce Twitter or Amazon Twitter is nowhere near what it was back in the peak of 2023. And I think the lack of engagement on Twitter or the lack of interest on Twitter plus the lack of people showing interest in coming to events like Sellers United is definitely indicative of the space decreasing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it might be bad for content creators and it might be bad for SaaS companies who are creating products like SellerAmp and Keepa who need new people coming in to use their product. But I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing for existing e-commerce sellers who are already kind of established in the space, because what that means when there's less interest in the space is that maybe the fast money is gone, but that also means that there's less competition in the space and less people fighting to get their company in front of these brands that they want to partner with to sell their products on third-party e-commerce platforms. And I definitely want to make another video to kind of dig deeper into that question of, is Amazon FBA dead? Because I know that it's a question that gets asked a lot, pretty much every single year. My short answer to that question is kind of. I would say that the fast money that you can make on Amazon is definitely dead. The ability in private label to just buy random products from Alibaba in China and then sell them on Amazon to make millions of dollars, that business model is definitely dead. I would definitely say that these quick arbitrage flips of just buying things like Nike socks at Kohl's and then flipping them on Amazon is absolutely dead. But if you play according to the rules that are ever changing in the Amazon space, you will find pockets of ways to make money that are not dead. And I think the people that have the resilience and that have the desire to want to learn and grow in the space and continually adapt, I think they will always carve out areas where Amazon is not dead and then continually find success in the Amazon e-commerce space. So anyways, more to come on that in a later video. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I found pretty significant to myself, and that is the departure of a friend of mine, Corey Ganem, from the Amazon e-commerce space. Corey tweeted just earlier this week that he is officially quitting the Amazon e-commerce space, that he is handing off some of his brands to other people, and that he's going to be moving in another direction. And in this video, he talked about and was very transparent about all the top line revenue and then bottom line profit that he's made during his 8 years of selling on Amazon. Now, first of all, I know Corey personally. I would consider him a friend of mine, and he's also someone that I really admire and respect in the space. You know, my first taste of Amazon wholesale came from watching his videos, and it was from those videos where I got introduced to the wholesale network, and that kind of began the inception of my pivot and my journey into doing wholesale. And so I wouldn't be where I am today without Corey and the knowledge that he shared, both on his free content on YouTube, but also through the wholesale network. Now, with that being said, in his video, he talked about, as I said before, his top line revenue and then bottom line profit. And I'll just give you the numbers. So his top line revenue was $16.5 million, which he did over the course of 8 years. That comes out to about $2 million per year. Pretty good, right? But his bottom line profit figures was only about $807,000. And if you look at the kind of replies to his videos, people have been retweeting him and kind of like clowning on him for having such a low profit margin. I think his profit margin came out to around 5%. And so I definitely want to talk about that. I think a lot of people are clowning on him unfairly. And I know that it's because he is kind of like the main guru in this space of doing wholesale. And he has so many tweets about how wholesale doesn't have to be a low margin game. You can find high margin products that have high sales velocity and make a killing on wholesale, right? You've probably seen those tweets yourself. And so when a guru who is supposed to be an expert at something and also proclaims that there are high margin products available for wholesale, that wholesale opportunities are abundant and everywhere, when someone like that posts a vulnerable video of information about their actual true profit margin figures of only about 5%, I can understand why people would clown on that and find that hypocritical. But let me first just say, I don't think that 5% profit margin figure is actually accurate. I think that, like everyone else who owns a small business, you run a portion of your personal/business expenses through the company. So for example, if you live at home, you can write off part of your rent as a business expense because you're working from home. You can also write off your home utilities because you're working from home, your home is your office, and therefore you need utilities to run your company. So there's things like that. You can obviously write off a lot of your travel expenses. If you're traveling for business purposes, you can write off a lot of food and dining and entertainment as part of business expenses as well. And then there are some things that kind of blur the line between personal and business expenses that you can write off as well. So for example, I drive a lot for the company because I always have to do deliveries and shipments, and so I can write off a portion of my auto expenses with the company. And I know that Corey has probably done those things himself, and so it would be unfair to just judge his profit margin just based on the net profits of the company plus the salary that he paid himself. And in addition to that too, Corey was kind of doing this ideal entrepreneur lifestyle where he was only really working maybe 6 hours per week, and he had a team of employees kind of running the company around the clock on his behalf, and he would just do the upper level, higher level business work. So if you combine all those things together, the life that he built for himself and the company that he created is certainly nothing to scoff at. I think most people would look at what he has done and what he's accomplished and aspire to be that. So for anyone out there who's clowning on him for quote unquote a low profit margin, just know that you probably only have half the information and that there's so much more to the story. And looking at my own company, I don't know what my take-home bottom line profit margin is, but I know that my profit margin after all of the Amazon fees, but before my warehouse expenses, is about 15 to 16%. And so if anyone out there who has seen Corey's video and is doubting whether or not it's still profitable to do wholesale and to sell on Amazon, just know that it is. I'm doing 15 to 16% in profit margin, obviously before warehousing expenses and before paying myself a salary as well. And so it definitely can be done in a profitable manner. All right, and that leads me to the last section of this video where I just want to give you guys an update on some Amazon news, things that I find interesting or actionable in the space. And this is something that I'm actually really excited about. Just a few weeks ago, Amazon announced that they are going to be introducing something called an Amazon Sellers Challenge. And what that is that all of us Amazon sellers, the new Amazon Sellers Challenge is a new feature that Amazon is rolling out for people who have account health assurance, where we're given 3 challenges to use, where we can challenge violations on our account health. And these are violations that are specific to a product listing. So you cannot use a seller's challenge for anything related to, like for example, a Section 3 that affect the account, but this is specifically for things that affect product listings. And when you use your seller challenge, which you get 3 of, this will allow you to appeal a violation, and then somebody from the Amazon Health team will manually review your case. And this is something that we've been asking Amazon for forever, because it seems like oftentimes we're at the mercy and whim of whatever bot / AI algorithm / outsourced laborer is doing to either approve or deny any types of account health appeals that we have done in the past. Now, there is a pathway forward for us to use our Sellers Challenge to request a manual review, and that should definitely help a lot of us out in removing account health violations. Now, we're going to be getting 3 of them initially, and if you are successful in your appeal, then that challenge will be renewed, and so you will not lose your Seller's Challenge if your appeal is successful. But if your appeal is unsuccessful, you will lose that challenge, but it will come back on your account in 6 months. The maximum number of challenges you can have is 3. Which means that if you're constantly winning all of your challenges, then you will always have 3 on your account. I think that's a wonderful addition that makes the selling process a lot easier. I know that whenever I'm speaking to account health and then I'm getting somebody on the phone who is an outsourced laborer in the Philippines or in India, I'm often frustrated because they don't understand the issue, they don't understand invoices in the United States and these big retail chain stores that exist over here and the legitimacy of business receipts and of invoices. But through the Sellers Challenge, I'm hopeful that we'll get people on the phone and to review our cases who are competent and knowledgeable about business in the United States. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Q4. I also hope that sales pick up in November, December. I'm confident that they will. But until then, I will catch you all later. Peace.